Hi, we're Amelia and Jacob reporting for School Report, and we're here with one of our PE teachers, Miss Jardine. So, what are your thoughts on the 2014 Sochi Winter Olympics?
Well, I thought they were a really great success. I think it was probably the first Olympics that I think we've had so much coverage on television, and I think that really raised the profile of the Olympics.
Have you had more people that have been inspired by these games?
It's difficult to say because obviously winter sports are so difficult to do around here, but I do think that there has been people inspired, and I think more people have been inspired to watch it as much as anything. And then I think the inspiration has gone throughout the country. We've seen on the news how people have gone and then done snowboarding on their dry slope, haven't they? With Jenny Jones winning that bronze. So I think there's obviously has been a big uptake of people doing the sports, but it's difficult to know in school whether it's had an effect.
I agree. So, are you keen on winter sports yourself?
Yeah, I ski quite a lot, although I'm probably coming to the end of my ski career as much as anything. But yeah, I love skiing. It's the only one I've really done, and I hope to continue really doing that as well.
And do you think that more winter sports should be encouraged within schools, like skiing and snowboarding on like dry slopes and fake snow slopes?
Yeah, obviously there's a cost involved, which is going to be prohibitive for so many people. And actually for schools can't afford to put it on. I mean, it would be great if there was some funding for it though, and we could take students. It would be so easy for us to take students who've got a double PE lesson and take them to Telford. I know the Madeley School do it on their curriculum because they just walk to it, so that's really good. So there are opportunities there, but unfortunately it always comes down to money.
Yeah. So, we're the only Kubitan school in Britain. Does this make anything different in the PE department, and could this raise funding so that we would be able to possibly do these things?
Yeah, the Kubitan network itself gets funding from the IOC, and the actual youth forum that we have is paid for by the IOC to a certain degree, but that funding has been cut over the years as well. And so the host schools now have to pay for a lot and find their own money to actually pay for the forum, and the forum has grown, so it costs more as well. So it would be difficult to know that they would actually be able to help us fund things within schools. I don't really see how that would happen. But I hope it makes a difference certainly makes a difference to the staff, the way that we think within school, as far as the Olympism ethics are concerned, and how we want to take part and be the best that we can be when we're doing it. But the real impact it has on the students who go to the youth forum itself, and many of them come back saying it's changed their lives.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm Jacob, and I'm going to ask a few more questions. Ben Simon's one of our former students. He came to the school. Did you know him when he was here?
Yes, I taught him all the way through his school career, so obviously taught him PE.
Yeah.
So yes, he was a very talented athlete, and that's really was his big passion, was the athletic side of it. So it's really interesting how he, along with several other sprinters, have kind of jumped ship over to bobsleigh and are doing well because of it.
So I'm guessing you're quite proud of him and what he's achieved.
Absolutely, I was thrilled to bits to hear about him. It was really a bolt out of the blue as well. You know, we hear, I know you're going to mention about Saffron, but we hear a lot about Saffron. I keep in touch with her, but I certainly haven't kept in touch with Ben since he left a few years ago. So it was a real surprise, and a lovely surprise to see that him representing Great Britain.
A very proud moment. And you said about Saffron. What was her award for?
Well, essentially, each of the different sports had to nominate a player to get this British Olympic Association award for essentially their best player or their most committed player within the season. And Saffron really is a huge talent with her ice hockey. And I know that even at 16, she was about 3 weeks old enough to go and represent Great Britain in the World Championships. And I know her coach said she was one of the first names on the list. So that was at senior level. So she is a huge talent.
So do you think she should push herself to compete in the next Winter Olympics?
Oh, that's definitely where they're aiming. You know, the Great Britain ice hockey team, you have to qualify to get to the Olympics, and of course it's not a huge sport in this country, so they're always fighting against that, but they're slowly moving up the ranks, and they're not far off getting a qualifying place. They really were hoping to make it in Sochi, but to be fair, Saffron had a really nasty injury about 12 months ago where she actually broke her back, and so they lost one of their key players,
Yeah.
which I'm sure probably had an impact on them not qualifying as it happens. They would have probably done better with her. So let's hope in 2018 that they make it, so they actually qualify, because it would be a shame for someone of her ability not to actually be able to go to the very top of the Olympics.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And finally, what would your message be to other students aspiring to become future Olympians?
Go for it. You know, I've done an assembly recently looking at Ben, and he made it because he took took an opportunity that he saw. He just saw an advert. Thought, could you be the next Olympian? And he just went for it. And yes, you've got to have talent, and there's got to be a lot of hard work. But if you put that hard work in, who knows where it's going to take you? So definitely just go for it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.